All right, let's get this video going here. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Today we're talking about the Springfield Echelon, their latest version of it, the 4.0 comp model. Whether it's a good purchase, whether it's a Glock 19 competitor, who should consider this gun, pros, cons, who it's made for, all that kind of stuff, my experience. If you recall, I did talk about the Springfield Echelon, their full-size 17 round with the slightly longer slide and barrel version, nearly maybe a year ago, give or take, but now with this new version. I'm a little bit late to the party, but Springfield was kind enough to send this gun out to me for free, allow me to shoot it, get my thoughts on it, and keep the gun after the video is done. So huge thank you to them for the support. So I just wanted to disclose my relationship with Springfield. I believe I've been working with Stephanie over there, and she's been absolutely fantastic. Other than that, no money has changed hands. They don't get to review this video before it goes live, nor do I have any talking points from them. This is just my unfiltered thoughts. For a very long time, I mean, 20 plus years, the Glock 19 has kind of taken the cake and been the go-to compact carry gun, the gun that can kind of do everything. The hallmarks of it are like the 15 round capacity, 15 plus 1, 4-ish inch barrel. You got that full size grip where if you do have large hands, your pinky might be hanging off a little bit. So your mileage may vary there. Having that 1.2-ish inch slide width so that you get a little bit more of that thickness with the platform as well. Those are kind of the features that made the Glock 19 famous and perfect, amongst other things such as reliability. So I've got a Glock 19. I got a Gen 4 19C. It's the integrally compensated, the ported one. So why would I want this gun other than I got it free of charge? And why would I keep it? Personally, I have been very impressed with the Echelon platform. I think it is extremely reliable. It is absolutely qualified to be considered for duty use and very just hard use based on a lot of the reliability findings of the gun community. Granted, I don't have thousands of rounds through this gun, but I do have probably 1,000 rounds through the Echelon in total. I would say half on this one, half on the other. And throughout all of my shooting experience, I have not had a single malfunction in the Echelon. No failure to ejects, no failure to feeds, no light strikes, nothing. This thing has performed better than my Glock 19 has. So that is an absolute thing to note. Before we dive too deeply into the video, I would like to thank some sponsors, some supporters of the channel. First off, DK Mags, or a gun store. They've been supporting the channel for a long time. They really have everything you could ever want: guns, knives, accessories, ammo, holsters, NFA items, stuff like that. They have a fantastic online catalog. Go check them out. Link in the description below. Additionally, I am a wedding videographer, so if you or someone you know is getting married, hit me up. Soul Center Films, and that is also in the description down below. Would love to film your wedding. Talked about Springfield. Last but not least, Sanhema. They have a fantastic selection of budget-friendly off-road and overlanding gear options, such as rooftop tents, other accessories like air compressors, awnings, but most recently I got to test out their traction board that they sent over, and they performed great. They helped us get out of a sticky situation. So if you want quality traction boards and ones that don't stack up too high, go ahead, check them out. Link is in the description below. You might notice that this Echelon looks a little bit different up top as far as accessories go. Nothing too crazy. I have a Siley Bear red dot. I was running, while I was doing the actual shooting for this video, in the B-roll portion, I was running the Siley Chameleon, which is essentially a more budget-friendly SRO, a fantastic dot, worked really great. I just put it on a different gun to run it on. I'm sorry, guys, this is kind of tacking on to that ad segment, but I do just want to cover what the gun is, why it looks like this, and then we can kind of talk a little bit more. But Sharps Bros sent out their Echelon grip module. It is freaking gorgeous, you guys. Come on. It's got the wood panels, fully metal aluminum grip, and I have loved this thing. It looks so nice. Got the Picatinny. It has the kind of scalloped cuts, the accelerator cuts here to really get your thumb in a comfortable position. You can run it without a magwell, and the 15 round magazines will fit. Otherwise, if you do want to run a magwell, I believe it's a 320 style magwell, and then 17 and higher capacity magazines will work, but not the 15s. So for carry mode, for a more compact package, I'm going to stick with how it is set up currently. One thing that I did mention before that I do like about the gun is its manipulability. Just the ergonomics of it really shine for me. I love how the back is cut, the back of the slide. You can see here these dimples, these divots really allow you to rack it super easily. Even if you have gloves on, even if you don't get the best purchase, you can very quickly and easily and aggressively get around in the chamber or clear malfunction. You can absolutely go over the top. You can use your thumb and your pointer um, on the other end and rack it from there. So it gives you a couple options. If you are a press checker, if you rack your gun that way too, there are the aggressive serrations. So especially compared to a Glock, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck. And in the milling department, one of my biggest gripes about the Springfield Prodigy is their optic plate system, how it only comes with the like dragonfly plate. Otherwise, I think it's the doctor plate. And you have to pay $120 to get a different plate if you want to run a different optic. They're reliable plates. They do a decent job of, holding an optic, making it stay zero, not having it wiggle, any of that funny business. But the Echelon really hits it home with their optic footprint, in my opinion. You can change out the posts very easily. There are holes for nearly every footprint, whether you're running the kind of slimline RMSC footprint, the doctor footprint, or the RMR footprint. You can do it all without having to purchase an additional or adapter plate. This one I am using an adapter plate because the Sally Bear uses its own proprietary mounting way of mounting up, kind of like the Acro, but it's not the Acros. I guess additionally with the manipulability, it is very easy. I like the recoil spring rate and the poundage that they chose to go with. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it is just a lot easier to like check or even rack than it is for a Glock 19, which I think uses a 19-pound spring. I believe my 19C is using a 15-pound spring. And when you do the full action of rack and to slide, it feels comparable weight-wise. However, when you do that first little bit of movement to go like that, it feels like a 10-pound spring. And then you kind of have to fight it a little bit more as you perform a full movement. But that allows you for super, super easy, quick press checks of the gun. And I like that. The trigger is good. It's definitely better than a stock Glock trigger. However, I do occasionally have a difficult time not disturbing the dot. I can't tell if the dot is moving because of the mechanisms in the slide moving after I pull the trigger. It does have a weak reset, I will say. So we'll pull that trigger. Very clean and crisp break. And then here we go. Yeah, just a really weak reset if I had to give it a gripe there. I like that it has that blade trigger safety. I think that's kind of pretty standard issue in terms of the striker fired pistol. I mean, even with like SIG, you see Tyrant CNC and companies like them offering aftermarket triggers that have that additional safety feature, which especially if you're running at 320, you might want to take every additional safety feature that you can possibly take. Although you might not want to mess with the trigger group on a 320. For me, the gun was very accurate. It was quick enough. Definitely noticeable difference between shooting like a 2011, which I did that same day, and shooting this gun. I was able to get a little more accuracy, more easily out of it, and more quickly. However, this gun was ring and steel at up close at 7 to 10, and then also no problem really at all at 25, and that's yards. The gun behaves quite nicely, and I will admit it has been a while since I've shot and owned especially a handgun that doesn't have a compensator or a port on it. So I was a little bit nervous initially, like, oh, I was going the route that I've gone, maybe recoil sensitive, and is shooting this going to kind of upset that? But no, it was totally fine. So gun behaved very well. It was very manageable under recoil. It actually shoots much more pleasantly. The recoil impulse is much more manageable than my compensated P365X macro. I think the Glock 19 is really absolutely slated to be that end of the world gun that you can take into battle, you can take into war, you can really run it through the mud and the dirt. It's still going to behave, it's still going to perform. And I think this gun, the Echelon platform just in general, has really done a lot to kind of come up alongside the Glock in that regard. I think the reliability is stellar. The modularity is a huge plus. I think the P320 platform was really kind of the first modular handgun that kind of caused a stir, made a noticeable shift in the industry to push towards that. So for me, I think that this gun really strikes a perfect balance between you get the reliability and the function of a Glock. You can trust your life to it. You don't have to babysit. You don't have to clean it every 200 rounds or lubricate it every 200 rounds. You can really neglect the gun. You shouldn't, but you can and get away with it while still trusting your life to it. But also you have that modularity that the 320 has, and the 320 doesn't really have that reliability and safety aspect to it. So to me, they really bridged a gap in two sides of the handgun spectrum. I think this is a perfect marriage of what a striker fired pistol should be. And I know I've seen a lot of people online talk about, oh yeah, I was a Glock guy for 8, 10, 12 years. Never owned any other striker fired pistol until the Echelon, and it doesn't disappoint. So super excited to put this gun through its paces more and potentially do a long-term review, maybe a side-by-side comparison with the Glock 19. Let me know what you guys want to see with this gun in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a really fun one to do and an honor to work with Springfield. Hopefully we can continue working with them in the future. If you like content like this, go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. Stay safe out there, guys. God bless you and your families. And remember to live a life worth defending.